Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I'm Dr. Ashish Sahajpal, Assistant Professor, University of Business School, Punjab University, Regional Center, Ludhiana, Punjab. Today we are going to discuss about a module, Strategic Entrepreneurship, under paper Strategic Management. After completing this module, we'll be able to make certain things clear as far as strategic entrepreneurship is concerned, that are defining strategic entrepreneurship, understand the model of strategic entrepreneurship, explain how strategic entrepreneurship helps the firm to create value, and describe entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial leadership, and culture. Strategic management is generally linked with large, established corporations. However, strategic issues in small businesses are not much talked about and cannot be ignored. Despite the overall success of small businesses, not much stress is laid on strategic planning at this level. One of the reasons why small businesses fail to implement strategic planning is their inability to cope up with the growth. Most firms would start with a single product and end up manufacturing the same product because they fail to engage themselves in innovative practices. It is this orientation that distinguishes a small business owner from an entrepreneur. On contrary, an entrepreneurial venture is any business that can be characterized by innovative strategic practices. Hence, it is this fundamental view on growth and innovation that distinguishes an entrepreneurial venture from a small business firm. It is to be noted that both the entrepreneurship and strategic management are concerned with growth and wealth creation, though they focus different slightly. Therefore, it becomes imperative to understand that how the two disciplines of strategic management and entrepreneurship be best integrated resulted in firms' superior performance. Moreover, with an attempt to build a strong ecosystem for nurturing innovation, Government of India has taken a recent initiative through its Startup India campaign to promote startups in the country that will derive sustainable economic growth and generate large-scale employment opportunities. The government, through this initiative, aims to empower startups to grow through innovation and design. Strategic planning in small businesses. It is imperative to acknowledge that it is not the plan but the process of strategic planning that is the key for improving the business performance. However, the process of strategic planning remains more or less an informal exercise in small business firms that may result to firms' reduced performance. The common reason often cited for this apparent lack of strategic planning practices in the small business firms are as following. Time constraint. Generally, the entrepreneurs are found busy with day-to-day operating problems and could find little or no time to pursue the long-term planning. They are heavily engaged to perform daily activities and operational decisions of the business. Unfamiliar with the strategic planning, the owners of small business may be unaware of strategic management as a functional area of a business or may view it as irrelevant at this operational level of business. Lack of skills. The owner, manager of the small business firms often lack the skills required to undertake strategic management practices, and moreover, they may not have or not willing to spend money either to hire the services of an external consultant to implement such practices. Lack of trust and openness. Generally, small business firms are family owned or managed by a single individual, mainly the owner. Since the businesses are closely held, the owner, manager are very sensitive to sharing of any information pertaining to the business. For this reason, the board of directors is often composed of only close friends and relatives of the owner, who are unlikely to put forward an objective viewpoint or a professional advice. The scope of entrepreneurship. The word entrepreneur originated from the French word entreprendre, which means to undertake. Therefore, an entrepreneur is a person who has an ability to sense and seize entrepreneurial opportunities better than most people. Entrepreneurship is thus the process through which an entrepreneur identifies the entrepreneurial opportunities without being immediately constrained or restricted by the resources at hand. However, the discipline of entrepreneurship development answers the basic tenets of entrepreneurship, such as why, when, and how the opportunities to do business surface. Why, when, and how some people are able to sense and exploit these opportunities, while others are unable to do so. Why, when, and how different modes of actions are used to capsulate the entrepreneurial opportunities. The following are the entrepreneurial characteristics that confirm an entrepreneur to run a business successfully. Opportunity recognition. Opportunity recognition is the most important entrepreneurial characteristics and is at the heart of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are goal oriented and have the ability to envision the future business trends, thus enabling them to give strategic direction to the business. A sense of urgency. The speed at which the ideas are put to action make the entrepreneur stand out from others. Moreover, to prioritize the task, that is, to distinguish between the most urgent tasks and those that may wait, help an entrepreneur to successfully execute its business. Collaboration. Entrepreneurs are open to the need of collaboration. They may seek outside help to supplement their skills, knowledge, and ability so as to enhance the firm's performance and take on to their rivals. The scope of strategic management. Michael Porter of Harvard Business School has made invaluable contribution to the area of strategic management as a discipline. To understand performance differential amongst the firms in the industry, he opines that it is through the creative and unique positioning the firm is being able to differentiate itself from rivals. The company that is strategically positioned perform different activities from rivals or perform similar activities in different ways. He emphasized a resource-based view where a firm utilizes its resources and capabilities to create a sustained competitive advantage that ultimately results in superior value creation and enhances their ability to create wealth. Henceforth, for a company to attain competitive advantage, it needs to have resources that are more valuable, rare, imperfectly imitable, and non-substitutable than those held by the competitors. Figure 1 illustrates that how and when a firm is able to acquire competitive advantage having a resource-based view. Integrating entrepreneurship and strategic management. The work of Field, Ireland, and Camp concludes that strategic entrepreneurship results from the integration of entrepreneurship and strategic management knowledge. However, the primary research undertaken to identify the dimensions of wealth creation in new ventures and established firms remain the basis of establishing the strategic entrepreneurship concept. Hilt Island and Camp argued that strategic entrepreneurship involves taking entrepreneurial actions using a strategic perspective. Firms that are able to identify the opportunities in their external environment but are incapable of exploiting them may fail to realize their true potential as wealth creator. Similarly, the firms having attained competitive advantage but lack the ability to sense new opportunities despite of its current advantages may pose a disadvantageous position for its stakeholder, as any change in the market phenomenon may diminish the rate of wealth creation or may erode the already created wealth. Hence, it is to be noted that wealth creation only takes place when a firm combines its effective opportunity seeking outlook, that is entrepreneurship, with that of advantage seeking outlook, that is strategic management. Generally, the entrepreneurial and the startup ventures tend to excel at opportunity seeking behavior as they have been skilled to identify the entrepreneurial opportunities, but are less effective at building and sustaining the competitive advantage. On the other hand, the large or established companies typically excel at advantage seeking behavior as they demonstrate enhanced skills needed to develop and sustain competitive advantages, but may lack the ability to recognize entrepreneurial opportunities that can be exploited with the help of their resources and capabilities. Alternatively, a firm pursuing strategic entrepreneurship would seek new opportunities either through creative or disruptive innovation, or would create a new market space taking advantage of their resources and capabilities to create wealth for its stakeholder. Exhibit 1, Suguna Food Breeding Trust Growing Together. Suguna Foods and Mukunda Foods are the perfect example of strategic entrepreneurship that identified the entrepreneurial opportunity in their external environment and exploited them through innovation to create competitive advantages, finally resulting in wealth creation. Over a period of 25 years, Suguna has gone from strength to strength and has become a rupees 5,480 crore company that makes it India's #1 boiler producer. Suguna ranks amongst the top 10 poultry companies worldwide. With operations in 16 states across India, it offers a range of poultry products and services. The fully integrated operations cover boiler and layer farming, hatcheries, feed mills, processing plants, vaccine, and exports. Chairman Mr. Sundararajan and Managing Director Mr. G.B. Sundararajan saw potential in growing the Indian poultry industry through integration, which later came to be known as contract farming. This led Suguna poultry to pioneer contract farming in India. In 1986, Mr. B. Sundarajan and Mr. G. B. Sundarajan set up a poultry farm with 200 layer birds at Udamalpet. During 1989-90, when the chicken prices crashed because of an oversupply of birds in the local market, Suguna saw an opportunity for business growth by helping the poultry farmers who had bought feed and medicine on credit and could not clear their dues. To help them recover their money, these visionaries began to provide feed and health support to indebted farmers in return for the end product, that is, eggs. The success of this exercise gave birth to Sugna integrational model. The poultry integration model has set a win-win situation for both the farmer and the integrator. Farmers are provided with day-old chicken, feed and health support. Performance is monitored on daily basis with Sugna field staff visiting the farms to check on health of the birds, feed intake, growth and mortality levels. In 6 weeks' time, the birds are weighted and are ready to be sold by Sugna. Farmers are paid a handsome growing charge for the birds, and at the end of this period, thus, Sugna takes this success model to the next level vision of energizing rural India, benefiting the country, farmer, and the company. A constant and relentless drive has taken the company's growth and expansion, which covers over 23,000 farmers from 8,000 villages in 16 Indian states. Okay, friends, now we'll throw some light onto a mini case study, that is Mukund Foods Dosa Matic. It is a case that how Mukund Foods has availed its opportunities from the external environment. The two foodies, Ishwar K. Vikas and Sudeep Sabat, felt that the Indian cuisine was losing ground to the fast food chains that were catching fast with the metropolitan lifestyle of the people. The question that hovered in their minds was, when the process of making burger and wraps can be standardized, then why not Indian dishes like dosa? They observed that though has traveled well across India, making it one of the most popular South Indian dishes in the country, but its pricing differ across the country. A dosa in South may cost a consumer just rupees 40, but the prices escalates as one travels to North. The duo realized that this difference was largely because preparing dosa required a certain set of skills, and the inavailability of skilled manpower in different parts of the country pushed the prices of the dish up. With the support of their engineering friends and Google Sketch, the duo worked out a design for the prototype. Moreover, the funding to the project was done with the help of the small saving, a grant of 1.2 lakhs from their college, and other non-financial assistance from Chennai-based storage equipment manufacturer Ambersons, where they did their internship. And by end of 2011, they came up with a prototype, a machine that was a size of a 4-seater dining table. The journey never stopped here, realizing the commercial model needs to be compact in order to take up the competition from the existing industry size model. Vikas and Sabat found Mukund Foods in 2012 and continued their search for a better prototype. Ultimately, with their fourth and final prototype in 2013, they succeeded to build a tabletop dosa making machine that was of size of a microwave oven. This model was more robust, commercial viable, and scalable, and was priced at 1 lakh. The 50 kg machine sported three separate containers for batter, water, and oil. At the press of a button, it pipped and spread the batter into the shape of dosa, sprinkled oil on it, and roasted it. The machine could make dosas of thickness between 1 mm to 6 mm, and that could be set manually. Mukunda Foods receives its first order from Dosa Cafe from Rishikesh, who was facing the trouble of getting a skilled person for preparing dosa at its cafe. And soon the company went to amass 50 clients that included big names like Adani Group, the Swami Narayan Temple in Gujarat, and Nimhans Hospital in New Delhi. The company also started to receive orders from abroad, mostly were NRIs, who owned and ran Indian restaurants abroad. It is important to note that currently 30% of the company's revenue comes from overseas. Till date, Mukund Foods have been targeting the quick service restaurants QSR in India and abroad, but it plans to enter the consumer market and make Dosa-matic a household name, for which Vikas and Sabat have to work out a price point at which anyone can afford to buy the machine. However, they have an idea of entering the office pantry where one could make a dosa for him or herself, just like one makes a cup of cappuccino from the coffee vending machine. It is this entrepreneurial mindset that keeps the duo going. Model of strategic entrepreneurship. Hit Ireland and Sherman has outlined a model of strategic entrepreneurship that highlights how combining the opportunity seeking behavior and advantage seeking behavior leads to wealth creation. The model unfolds the four distinctive dimensions that a firm pursuing strategic entrepreneurship should focus. These four dimensions of strategic entrepreneurship model are an entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial culture, leadership, managing resources strategically, and applying creativity and developing innovation, as it is illustrated in Figure 2. The entrepreneurial mindset is referred to as the ability to notice new opportunities. An entrepreneurial mindset is both taken as an individualistic and group phenomena. That means entrepreneurial mindset is important to individuals as entrepreneurs and to managers and professionals in case of established firms to think and act entrepreneurially. Entrepreneurial mindset is growth-oriented perspective through which individual promotes creativity, flexibility, continuous innovation, and creates new values. Moreover, it is this cognitive ability that helps an individual to overcome the ambiguous and fragmented situation in the times of uncertainty and stimulates the entrepreneurial alertness. It is thus necessary to alert to the new opportunity so as to exploit them for wealth creation. Secondly, the entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurial culture are the vital aspects of strategic entrepreneurship. It is the entrepreneurial leader in the organization who promotes and encourages entrepreneurial behavior and culture within the organization. The leaders encourage its people to be open and transparent in their communication so as to create cohesive environment for creativity and new ideas to search. In an entrepreneurial culture, the leader persuades its people to be creative and innovative. Their failures are tolerated. High risk is encouraged and continuous change is viewed as a continuum of opportunities. Strategic resource management is crucial for developing competitive advantage. The resource-based view of a firm is used to identify and explain the performance differences amongst the firms and provide the understanding that how the resources can be managed strategically. These resources are tangible and intangible assets of a firm that it uses to choose and implement its strategies. Financial capital, human capital, and social capital are the most important resources involved. When the resources are valuable, are rare, imperfectly imitable, and non-substitution, they leads to sustained competitive advantage. Thus, for the strategic, from the strategic viewpoint, competitive advantage are a function of the resources developed or acquired by the firm. Lastly, developing an ecosystem for applying creativity and nurturing innovation is an important domain of strategic entrepreneurship. Firms must be creative to develop innovation. Creativity is increasingly important for the firms to distinguish their products in the market with multiple opportunities, while innovation resulting from new combination of production factor is decisive in the firm's effort to create value and subsequently wealth for its stakeholders. Okay, friends, now we'll summarize the module. Strategic entrepreneurship has merged over the last decade and has resulted from the integration of entrepreneurship and strategic management knowledge. Strategic entrepreneurship is taking entrepreneurial action using a strategic perspective. It focuses on exploiting entrepreneurial opportunities to take temporary advantages rather than only searching for conditions of sustainable competitive advantages to create wealth for its stakeholders. Moreover, it is to be noted that wealth creation only takes place when the firm combines its effective opportunity seeking outlook, that is entrepreneurship, with that of advantage seeking outlook, that is strategic management. Thank you very much.